build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Longbangers. I'm Matty.
Good evening, I'm Colin. How are you?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
All right, you had a good day?
I've had an excellent day. We were through in Glasgow today. So I was through with the family went for a meal, Japanese restaurant. I think it's called Sapporo Teriyaki.
Mother's Day something.
Aye. It was good. They cook all the food in front of you, so you're sort of sat. Your table's like a U shape, and they've got these two sort of grill plate things that the boy cooks on. So it's really good. See, while they're kind of getting the main stuff ready, he puts his wee potato fritter type things down, and he's frying them on the thing, and then he starts sort of chucking them to you to kind of to catch it. And there's like a big build up. So he goes round the table, Ken. So there's like my two nephews, but they're a bit younger, so they're like catch, and they're like, oh fucking brilliant, he's chucking food at me. Do you know, like that kind of thing? And then they have the big flames going up and all this. And
so is he like assigned to your table?
Aye,
the whole thing.
Aye, he does it.
Sounds like it's fucking pretty pennies at pay week.
It was my mum and dad. I wasn't paying for it. So, and the food was lovely as well. I would definitely recommend it. It's good spectacle. Really nice staff and good food. How about you?
All right, we went out for a sort of early lunch, late breakfast for the Mother's Day. Obviously, I'm not anybody's mum, but I was paying, so done that this morning, and then 10-mile walk with the dog this afternoon. So it was all right. 10 miles, aye. Bang on, 10 miles. Just there wasn't a plan to be 10. It was just the route we took, and when I got back, I was like, oh, that's exactly 10 miles. So good, over 1,200 calories or something, according to Strava. So
aye, excellent. Aye, very good. Is the dog still sleeping now?
Well, I heard her barking just as we were starting, but I think she's knackered. Like,
aye.
She's all right. She'll go as far as you want, or is not as far as you want. If you want a lazy day, she's quite comfy with that. So it was not bad. And then I started telling you about my dinner, eh? I kept talking about dinner. We didn't get that question. All the other podcasts get that question.
Aye, anyway, for dinner. But what did you have, Colin?
John, is it John? Somebody John that sends it in. John didn't send us that question. But anyway, I'll tell you what I took my dinner. So I went to Marks and Spencer's this morning after we'd been out for breakfast, and we're like, what we get? So we got one of these roast dinners for four thing, like on the meal, 20 quid. A main and 3 sides. So we got the roast beef and 3 sides, smashed potatoes, kilted sausages, and a vegetable bake thing. It was broccoli and cheese sauce with a breadcrumb, and it was lovely. So I got back into the walk. My daughter had cut some extra carrots up, and she was making some Yorkshire puddings as well, homemade ones. She's good at that, right? So that was fine. So we've done that. Come in. They seared the beef. 25 minutes it was for it to be rare rank or medium, can't mind. Fucking they all had different cooks, so they're all back. You're buying them all as part of the same fucking meal deal, if you want to call it that. They've got that's for 35 minutes, that's for 40, that's for 25, that's at 180, that's at 990, and that's at 200, and you're gone. And then the Yorkshire's obviously going at 200 fucking 20 or 225 or something. So how the fuck am I going to manage this? So that was at the time when we were saying, what time will we do this? And I'm going, I can't even work out half an hour ahead of myself here, but these different fucking cooking tips. No idea. I was like, fuck's sake. But it was fucking tremendous. It was really nice. For 20 quid, four portions, decent. Because I got the beef out and I'm like, that's not going to be big enough. But it never shrunk. That's the thing I was looking at.
By the way, I'm just going to clip that wee bit. Just you said I got the beef out and I thought it's still going to be big enough.
And it never shrunk. But so often I always think you get a bit of meat like that and you think, it's got to shrink when it goes in, but never. So I recommend that. They're not a sponsor. They might be in some of the adverts, don't listen. But it was nice, but fuck me, like make it a bit easier, man. Just tell us 180 for everything or 200 for everything. Let's no fuck about here. I'm fine with the 25 versus 30 versus 35 minutes. It's when the temperature comes into as well, you're going, wait a minute.
Aye. Because you don't undercook something, but at the same time, you don't want to burn something. So that's the bit that annoys me. If it's all meant to go in together, just make it all cook at the same temperature, please.
And I get it, that could be 40 minutes, that's fine. At 10 minutes time, I'll put the thing out, these 30 minutes in, that's fine. But
Aye.
then he then say, turn your oven down. So,
Yeah. Come on, scientists and boffins, sort it out.
anyway. So for short bangers, probably.
Aye, probably is. Right. We'll dive straight into the talking points. We've talked about the match on the match. So quite a few talking points come in, probably a lot in the same theme. Like Paul Mackay said, is Ewan's Red one of the worst you've seen?
I'm not sure, because I think there's probably been more blatant ones that folk have been sent off, like Mike Brebner in the
On the Derby.
Derby, right? They got overturned when things didn't get overturned. Remember back in the 80s, that was like a new thing. Oh, the referees rescinded it during the week. So there's probably been worse ones. And with that, I think the first one, as much as the boy made a meal of it, I think it's probably a booking. I'd be shouting for a booking there, right? If it was against Hibs. I agree with what you said on the match, like where if it was the other end, Celtic boys not getting booked. It is one of them. It's a 50-50 depending on what mood they're in, what minute of the game it is, what game it is, who they're playing against, all these caveats that the referees seem to apply. But it probably is, because I think I was actually thinking yesterday, like my daughter done one in her game, and I was like, she could probably go booked there. But at the time I was going, fucking well done then, right? So depends what side you're on. Basically, for that one. The other one, I don't know what the rule is anymore about kicking the ball in the head. There was a boy in Hibs.net mind arguing, adamant.
Aye.
You kick somebody in the head, it's a red card. However, it wasn't a red card, it was a yellow. So what's the fucking rule? Don't know. So I don't know if it's the worst one ever. I don't think it is the worst one ever. I think there's been blatant red cards given before when it's not.
I think it's up there with, because I think the referee guessed.
It's one of the softest, because the two tackles, you're like, fuck, they're 50-50s. Like whether they get anything against them or no. Like we said, or like you said on the match, that foul that Carter Vickers done on Ewan, then Ewan's sort of attempt at the ball but catching the guy. If the referee just went with his instinct, which was to do nothing until they got tilted to something different, sports team would never even showed that. Nobody would have even mentioned it.
It would just be like another tackle in the
That's
game.
how soft it is.
I think in the context of the game, it's a bad one. I think when you're already looking at one, because the referee will also, and this is where you look for a bit.
He's already on a yellow.
He's already on a yellow. The first yellow, I could maybe know have given him it. So do you get the benefit?
What was it? They were talking about earlier.
Like an orange.
Aye.
But an orange was for when it was worse than a yellow, but not quite a red. This would be worse than nothing, but not quite a yellow. So a beige, something like that.
It needs to be on the orange sort of palette.
I think
it be on that sort of.
I think you're looking at those sort of colours for it.
Like the pH thing, the pH 1 to 7, and then it goes after 7, is that right?
This is when you're not fully hydrated and you're on your way to being dehydrated.
Or what do they do at diabetic tests?
Like that, where you can take just pissing it and you go, all right, it's no dark orange, right? So I'm still healthy enough that it's not quite clear.
Need to implement that.
But the referee. I mean, the second one's never a booking. I don't even think it's a foul. I get your point about kind of kicking somebody in the head. I mean, you say it like that, it sounds like it's quite bad. But
it sounds worse and it sounds vicious and it sounds like he meant it. He didn't any of that. But I don't know if that's what the rule is anymore.
His foot's only there because Carter Vickers is pulling him down, though, which is the other thing.
It's not. His foot's there because he swung it at the ball.
But he's no got an angle on it if he's no falling over at the same time.
But if he didn't try and swing his foot at the ball, he wouldn't have kicked him in the head.
But he's not kicking him because his body's in the way. The worst he would have done would kick himself in the head if he's not getting pulled over. Because he gets pushed out the way, Carter Vickers then puts himself in a position where Ewan's body would have occupied. And anyway, it's definitely fucking high feet. It could have been Dopey marking him and it wouldn't have been high feet on Dopey.
But it's no high feet. That's not the thing's not high feet, is it? It's dangerous play.
Right.
So it's not, the rule isn't high feet, and I'm not saying it's no. I'm just saying, like, we got a red card for us for something that we went, oh fuck, mind at the game. You thought it's maybe a yellow, and or you didn't even get anything. I says it might be a yellow at the time, and then we get that one, and you go, well, I'm trying to be consistent. The calling referees to be consistent. If I thought the Vassell one was a yellow, then he has kicked him in the head, but you could argue he's been fouled before it. But he swung his leg. If he didn't swing his leg, he's not going to kick him in the head. I don't know.
I'll disagree. I think he's only in that situation because he's getting fouled. Like I say, I don't think it's a foul.
But if he didn't swing his leg at the ball, then he wouldn't have hit him in the head. Doesn't matter whether he's lying horizontal or.
Aye, but Carter Vickers he's no standing still, getting kicked in the head. He's falling forward, getting Joe and into it. If anything, he's headbutted Duan's foot, and that's going to be illegal, surely.
I know, but then who was it? Was it Cabrera in the Vassell one? He went towards the ball as well and got kicked. And then we got red carded, and they upheld it and says, well, he still kicked him in the head. Doesn't matter if he's come towards it or not.
Well, I'm still saying inconsistent because I didn't say that was a red card either.
You said both were nothing now.
Aye.
So I said both were. I said the other one was a yellow. But then I got told I never got told. I was on I read Hibs.net and they said it's always the rule. You kick somebody in the head, straight red. Well, it wasn't yesterday.
Aye. We could go on and have a look to see if that's still the case.
It'd be interesting to see what they're saying now. So
McCann C asks, well, we contest the red, can we? Really going to miss him for the Motherwell match. So you can't, because it's 2 bookings, you can't contest it. And yeah, we definitely will miss him for Motherwell. And
but then we've got Nisbet in that back, which is the surprise. We never touched on the match, but Nisbet and Kukrevich both sat on the bench and they brought Hoppy on.
Aye, and McCurdy there as well. There's loads of options for the forwards now.
Aye. But we didn't know that's like we said. But then you've also got it brought Hoppy on for Fish. And Devlin was on the bench.
Aye. So you try to get something for the game at that point, Neil Renton said, where do you think ref Stephen McLean put his Celtic Man of the Match award earned after that performance?
It's a funny one, because by all accounts he's a Rangers man as well. It's weird.
Aye, so this was probably pull this talking point up just now. This came in from Richard Harkis on our Longbangers Facebook chat, right? So if anybody's on the Facebook page, there's an associated chat with it. We kind of, as well as putting the request for talking points out on Twitter, we sometimes put it out in there as well. His question or talking point is, I'd like to offer a topic. Why do we have VAR if we don't even have full-time refs? And also, assuming that there is a bias in reffing, why would that be? Who benefits? Are we saying it's a conspiracy? A Masonic move, a Vatican cover-up? In short, let's say there is, and in brackets he says, I don't think there is, just bad refs. Who is paying to fund this bias? And maybe to what end?
So I would argue that VAR is more required for the amateur refs or semi-pro refs that we've got, because they should need more help then, because they're not full-time. Pro guys should get more right in the first place. So you could argue VAR is more required in the semi-pro industry we've got.
And VAR dug the referee out yesterday for a couple of big decisions. VAR absolutely dug him out.
So it wasn't VAR that was the problem, Mister. It's the referee, which is what we've been saying. But then the problem we've got is there's referees that are operating VAR, but that should take their excuses away for them, like what I've always said. Because I was positive. Let's get VAR, and that's good. This should stop this kind of shit happening, because and it did yesterday, right? Because Celtic would have had a penalty yesterday that the boy just tripped over his own fucking feet.
Aye, and we wouldn't have had one.
And we wouldn't have had one if we never had VAR, right? So VAR is positive yesterday. And it should take, because they're sitting away, I don't know, they're sitting somewhere like fucking Hart Hill or something. They've got their unit that they're sitting. Aye, like they're Rica's office or whatever that they hire on a weekend. And they're sitting there, they've got no crowd intimidating them. They've got time to see the other angles that they used to see. They've only got one angle and we get to see it once. So that's all taken away from them. So it should work, and it did work yesterday.
Yeah. The bias. So I don't think anybody's paying for it, and I thought about this a lot, right? And especially when I'm critical of the decisions that Rangers get, right? Because there's an implication, and we see it as well, right? So if you look at the reaction yesterday to Yuan's red card, folk were going, cheating bastards. Like Celtic didn't do it, right? So you take Carter Vickers maybe playing up to it a wee bit, but loads of football players do that. He's no alone in that.
Another one as well. Starfield, wasn't it? He laid in to get Yuan booked the first one as well.
Aye, right. So you say, right, that aside, the referee making those decisions isn't something that Celtic have done. I think Celtic are paying the referees. Rangers, when they get the decisions in games, I don't think Rangers are paying referees. Rangers are the cheating bastard in that situation. When they get when the referee doesn't give them a handball or against them, when the referee doesn't give the penalty against them or gives them the soft penalty.
Yeah.
Apart from the times, right, with the tough cheating, kind of like Kolach dive in, whatever. Apart from that, the referee's the one that's in the wrong here, right? It's no Rangers and Celtic paying the referees, and I think that we get caught up in it because your instinct is because they benefit from it. You go, these are cheating bastards, but it's no them, and you can understand why like if you were a Rangers fan, why you would get defensive about that. Doesn't mean that the referees are biased towards you. There's a really good podcast on that Graham Spears did. I think you've heard this one as well, but they've got a couple of Celtic fans on. They were talking about, I think they were both Celtic fans, but about whether Celtic in particular are on the wrong end of referees' decisions or if there's a bias. And the boys talked through, and I never fact checked it, right, but it seemed very legitimate. The sort of the history of how referees were appointed, where they were appointed from, and it was still stands true today. The West of Scotland, but it was like from Masonic lodges and things like this, and for the Protestant schools and all the rest of it, where there was a very heavy Rangers leaning on it. Now you're not saying that just because somebody's from there or maybe supported that club or they're a Mason or whatever that they're then a cheat. But I think subconsciously, I would, as balanced as I would try to be if I was refereeing a Hibs game, if there's a 50-50, I can't which way I'm giving it. Like whether I would be consciously doing it or not, I'd be like, fuck it, it's Hibs throw. It could have bounced off either of them. Hibs throw.
Well, you're a nightmare. You're 100%. So with that, and I try to be fairer than you.
Yep. So you have this, right, where it's happened for years and it still happens. There's things like there's referees, kids like Andrew Dallas. His old man was a referee. There's photos in the 60s of the referees getting the fucking funny handshake.
Like Portman guy.
And there's after dinner speakers and that where ex-referees saying, I made sure Rangers we were always winning that one, they were never getting this, they were never getting... Craig Levine tells a story, a referee telling him, you're getting nothing today. Yeah. And he's open, he never named the referee, but he's fucking talked about it publicly.
He did, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he has. I think it's Kenny Clark, maybe.
Oh, was it?
Sure he has.
So the evidence is there and the numbers back it up, right? It's always what you look at is the stats back up. If you didn't want to believe your own eyes, is there other evidence to support it? And 100% that there is. I think it's irrefutable. You make the point, Colin, about fans go to tan their windows or find where they work.
It's bullying. It's a bullying thing. You look at Twitter. Like we got hounded the other week with the Rangers fans, and I'm sure there's been stuff on Twitter with the Celtic fans because it's like they're so blinkered by each other. They're so caught up in each other that they can't see anything else. So there's folk on there saying that Johan fouled Carter Vickers, not that Carter Vickers fouled him and fell onto his foot. That and it's like they'll no see the other side of the argument. They'll just no see it. They're just so blinkered because that means then the Rangers would have a one up on them and they can't allow that to happen. It's nothing to do with the foul. It's nothing to do with being Hibs and it's nothing to do with the referee. It's that they can't be seen to allow Rangers to have that's the one decision in the fucking 4 column because then that means that Rangers are catching up on them on that league table. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just fucking incredible, like how blinkered they are. And they're not interested in sorting. They moan as much as they want about the referees. They're not interested in sorting that. As long as they get more decisions than Rangers, they're quite happy. That's what they care about.
Rangers complained about a referee. Was it, I mean, if it was Dallas or who it was, they complained and he never refed them again for months. They wrote a letter to the SFA. They weren't happy with a decision or something that went against them. So they wrote, expressed their concerns, and the boy was near them again. Celtic, remember, hired a private detective to go and fucking investigate. I can't remember the referee or whether it was referees in general. They went.
I remember the story, mate. I can't remember.
I mean, you're going back a while, but that's what you're dealing with. So there might not be this conscious bias. I'm not saying there's no conscious bias because I think that exists as well. But there's definitely an unconscious bias there where
I think that's what
when
it
you
is. 100% think it is. One for all the reasons you said about the boys explaining on the Spears podcast, but two, because I'm thinking it is conscious, I suppose, but they're thinking, fuck, that's like Porteous in the Cup final, right? Late on against Celtic, they're thinking, oh, I can't get that. And it's that
Aye.
moment of hesitation
Mm.
because they think, oh, I've got to get my cunt kicked in, no him.
Aye.
And that's why they're there.
Aye.
So
My
do we
lads
need
was
to
getting
do
tight in
that?
school, or aye.
If
Aye.
we're odd in it, does that balance it out? Because there's many of them. Does it then, like, how does it work? But then is that the right way to go about it? Like, it's just, but that's why we would be better bringing in, paying, like, we pay a fucking fortune for these referees. Fortunes they get more than a lot of the players in the league. Like, take out the top 5-6 teams. These boys are on a par, wage wise, with players at St Mirren and Motherwell and all of them, right? Grand a game and all that. 900 quid a game, whatever it is. So, and it's like they could do 2 games a week, and like, boys, they're not earning like that. That's a part-time job, 100 grand a year. Like, it's fucking incredible. And or I say that it's Douglas Ross's third fucking job, isn't it? Fourth job, whatever. But so they've got that, and then where's I going with that? Got sidetracked on the money.
But having to pay, but not having professional referees or paying for them.
Aye, if we've got that amount of money to pay referees a part-time wage, let's just use it to bring. Let's just say to fucking other leagues. Can we use your refs on Saturday? When do you play? You play Friday nights. Get them on the plane Saturday morning. £1,000 each.
Aye, they'll be jumping at it. Aye,
we're still breaking even. We've got overtime. Cash in hand. Do you know what I mean? 750 cash in hand. That it's fucking like we pay them a fortune. It wouldn't cost much more to give them to get boys in for other leagues. Surely, fuck, whether they're allowed or not, I don't know. But like, surely it makes sense to get other referees in for other countries. Like for every league, because then the guys in England aren't getting Man United, Liverpool, the calls either, eh? Because it's like
they're invested in it. Aye, and Scotland's too small, I think, for it not to happen. Like I say, for the associations that they pick from, I think it's like there's only been like 1 or 2 referees for Edinburgh referee the Scottish Cup final in about 100 odd years.
And you got Dougie McDonald, maybe.
Aye. You're saying, well, surely there must be decent referees come through for the East of Scotland. It can't all be Lanarkshire and Glasgow, do you know?
It's wild, that kind of like bottleneck that they must have.
Aye. So, aye, and it was good actually reading about Ben Kensell having a inverted commas heated debate with I think it was Crawford Allen about it, and more power to him, and well done Ben for doing that, because it's a bit fucking. I know Hibs have stuck up for ourselves on things like that. I remember I think I've told it before the Scottish Cup final 2012, where we went to Hampden, we had a meeting in to discuss our concerns about having Craig Thompson as the referee, well ahead of the game, and while it was Scott Lindsay, Scott Lindsay was waiting in the waiting room to go into the meeting, they announced Craig Thompson as the referee publicly, so they couldn't then go and reverse it, and then they brought him in and said, "Fucking too late."
No, it's too late.
And that's what you're up against. Anyway, right, let's move on. Paul Walker said, was Lee going for the win with those subs, and is Jake Doyle-Hayes one of the first names on the team sheet when fully fit?
The subs where he brought Hoppy on for Fish.
Aye.
Well, looks like it, eh? He was definitely going for a point, because we were 2-1 down at that point, I think.
Yeah, it would have been
2-1. And Doyle-Hayes, I had a good game yesterday by all accounts, so well done him. I mean, he's decent enough. I don't know if he's better than when everybody's fully fit. I guess if he's fully fit in the current moment, then he possibly gets a game. And when everybody's fully fit, I don't know if he still does, because I think him and you'll get in each other's way, so it's one or the other. For that point of view, I think everybody's kind of agreed on that fact, that the two of them can't play together. Doyle-Hayes is younger, so whether you go with the younger model, I don't know. And
you've got now Egan Riley, Jago, and Campbell are 3 of your mainstays in midfield now. I don't think you're really wanting to disrupt that, and so really, Doyle-Hayes is fighting out with Newell and McGuinness if he ever gets fit.
Well, that's the other one. I keep forgetting about him. I know.
Aye.
But
Charlie McGrew thinks she made it up. Said, should all SPL teams go on strike until refereeing teams are imported from abroad? As long as we have Scottish refs, we're always going to have an unfair amount of bias, conscious or not, in favour of the old firm. I think we probably covered that. It'd be interesting about going on strike. We'll see if the teams just went. I'd be amazed if it happened. Like, just have a weekend like that where they just go, fuck it, we're not doing this. Or remember Hearts were at Ibrox and they had like 3 or 4 men sent off. And was it Robinson was in the director at the time? And he's doing fucking trying to wave the players off, and Levine's having to kind of go fucking didn't take them off. I think it was that way, and he was like, fucking we're not having it. I love it for see when you get a decision like that. And it would cause all fucking manner of trouble. But fuck it, see if you just went Sean a light of it and went, we should have a penalty in that game. We're not playing Rangers next week. Next time we come, or we're not playing Celtic. Whatever, sort your referees out and then we'll do it.
Just give them the 3-0 win.
Aye, that's it. You're sending them off for that. Fuck it. Oya's off. We're not finishing the game. And then Celtic have to explain. We go, fucking all these 60,000 fans are going, fucking we're wanting a game. Gives your money back.
They'd come down in Tano Irlandies.
Aye, they'd go fucking mental about it. And you go, well, sort the referees out. Make it their problem. Because for as long as it's no Rangers and Celtic's problem, they'll not get a fucker and nothing will change.
Well, it's in their favour in a way. I mean, it gives them something to argue about as well, because there's no argument over who's got to win the fucking league or anything. So at least they've got to argue about who gets the most refereeing decisions.
I know, mentally. They both feel like they're hard done to as well. Like, Ken Rangers right to complain about a referee.
I know. It's not, but we keep coming back to Rangers, but Celtic's just as fucking bad. Like, they'll make excuses, and it's like, man, they frustrate. They think they get fuck all. They get as much as the other cunts. They're as bad as each other. Like,
boy on Twitter says, Celtic fans, you know, tell me this league isn't rigged. It's like, you have won it 10 out of the last 11 years.
They've only won it 50 fucking odd times. I don't know how many it is. But can't be a kick in the arse with Rangers, are they? Like,
kind of conspiracy is it? It's mental.
It's not very fucking working very fucking well in the rigging, eh?
The worst fucking rigging going. Parmaham too said, can't have any complaints about the attitude. Great team effort. Who knows what would have happened with a competent ref? So on that point, right? So I'd mentioned that this is a possible talking point to you, Colin, because you mentioned made the point after the 6-1 game, no such thing as a free hit. Look at the fucking damage it causes. Can't have any complaints about the attitude. Great team effort is what Parmaham too says it. And I think that's consistent with how a lot of us felt about the performance. Does that prove you right? Is what the question I was going to ask you, right? Does that back your point up?
I think it does, because we still got beat. We still got, like, the goal difference wasn't as damaged as a lot of people were predicting. Maybe that helped as well. I think going to Parkhead the first time, people were thinking, we could give him a game. We're on the back of a four match winning run, 5 match winning, whatever it was at the time. Whereas this time it was like, fuck me, how many have we got to ship? Even in the group chats we were in, 4, 5, 6s and that, people were, it's like, how many is it going to be? But I didn't, I said 2. I was thinking 2-0, like, I didn't think we would get a goal. Certainly didn't think we'd get a fucking penalty. But I didn't expect them to go gung-ho. But I think it's the way to do it. Like we said on the match, touched on it as well. Like, just fucking go for a straight life with them, man. They didn't like it. You see their comments, it's like, I know, like, my brother-in-law's uncle phoned them. He's a Celtic season ticket holder and that, and fucking moaning about the style of playing that. Good. They didn't fucking like it. Do it more then. Bring the head knocks into it next time, Lee.
That's it.
Fucking hate the head knocks. But every other goes, if they're not going to be fuck all about it, let's just join in.
Spot on. Isla said, would we have continued to play like that had Yuan stayed on? Very good performance. Subs were strange, and taking off 2 defenders cost us, in my opinion. Can we win at least 3 out of the next 4? So I think probably would have continued playing. Like, they don't have no reason to change it the way that we were playing before Yuan got sent off, because Celtic weren't really threat. They were getting a lot of the ball, but not really doing anything with it, and we had a bit of a threat going forward. Subs were strange. I think we kind of touched on that. We're talking about maybe going for the win. And then can we win at least 3 out of the next 4? So our next 4 games, Colin?
Motherwell.
Yeah.
Dundee United.
Kelly and Hearts, is it? Kelly in there as well?
So I'm not sure. Definitely, yeah. It's a mirror maybe. But definitely, we can win 3 of those 4, I think we should be looking to be getting 10 to 12 points through that.
Aye, right. So just to confirm, we've got Motherwell, Dundee United, Hearts, and St Johnstone's the other one.
St Johnstone.
And it's away. We do no bad up at McDermott Park, funnily enough.
Been
Like
alright
for
recently,
a bogey team like they sometimes
and
get
that's
labelled.
and that's it before the split, eh? That's it.
Aye.
I think we should be looking to max that out.
Aye, the derby's a tricky one, but if we want to finish third, you have to win the derby. I mean, it's
Well,
the 6-pointer territory, isn't it? Like if you want to kind of beat the cliches.
And low averages and that would fucking say it as well. I know we've fucking spoke about low averages in the derby before, like, but I mean, we've got to be looking at winning all the games. It's a home derby as well. It's no.
Aye. And would you set up to stifle them the way that you stifle Celtic, or do you go, they're not at that level, so we can play our own game against them?
Aye, they're not at that level. I'm here at home, so it's a bit different.
You want to focus on the set pieces. Aberdeen fucking hammered them on Saturday, and it was set pieces that did the damage for them.
I've not seen that yet.
Right, Stephen asked or said Campbell coming on leaps and bounds. Miller was excellent. Chabrai impressive as well. Starting to look like having a good squad we can build on in the summer, hopefully after grabbing a Euro place. Campbell we've spoken about at length. Lewis Miller's probably one that's worth giving a call out for because I don't think we've really seen it from him this season, but that was by far and away his best performance in a Hibs shirt.
He's not played many, has he?
No. I was surprised to see him come into the academy. We're speaking to Josh about it through in Glasgow, and he says maybe it's because he's a bit more physical. If Cadden really struggled against Maida the game at Easter Road, like really struggled against him, whereas I thought Miller coped with him really well. Chabrai was decent as well. One thing we never mentioned as well, Starfelt didn't get booked for the penalty he gave away. Hanlon got booked for his.
Yeah.
It's wee inconsistencies like that that fuck you off.
But Hanlon didn't fall down.
Nah, maybe he should have.
I think that's the difference. I don't know. But then, I mean, it goes against. I wonder if he hadn't got the sending off if we would have got the penalty for us. Because it was a nothing like jersey pull. It didn't like stop him getting a header on goal or anything. I was like, I'm really surprised we got it. Like as much as it's a jersey pull, or say that it's a penalty. It's like
it did stop him challenging for the ball, like or getting close because he was making the run to challenge the defender who actually hit. Aye, but the defender that headed it was who he would have been challenging.
Aye, I know. I'm not thinking. I'm just saying, I'm surprised we got it. You know, like based on who we're playing against and where it is and how important it is to them, like to referees to not give much against them because of that league table that's running alongside the actual points league table.
Keith Robertson said LJ learned from the Rangers game and got an improved starting 11 in formation. JDH was a welcome return. Can see why Ewan has been given the second yellow, but he's dragged down if it's the other way around to Celtic get the red card. The added time, by the way, and McLean was gash. The added time was ridiculous. I mean, the 8 minutes was. I don't think that even with the talking about Carter Vickers giving it the histrionics with the two challenges. And the VAR wasn't that long that the ref was checking it for the penalty. I thought 8 minutes was mental. And I think we've covered the second yellow as well between the match and this one. If it's the other way around, the Celtic get it. No, don't think so. And actually, your evidence for that is Carter Vickers was fouling you and Celtic got a free kick. So there you go. You could actually see what happened. They definitely wouldn't have got it. Scott Patterson said, actually glad to see us get under Celtic's skin with some dark arts, i.e. The bench throwing an extra ball to stop quick free kick and generally frustrating them. Our neighbours have been doing it to us for years and we've been too nice. We talked about the bringing in the head knocks into that equation, but
the head knock one's effective as fuck. As soon as it's a corner, you go down, you get the ball back. Yeah. Like that's the new rule. You get to the goalie for a bounce ball. Just stay at every corner. They got 15 corners yesterday. 15 head knocks it should have been. Every time you get a corner, your turn.
Aye.
Well, can't you do it?
You just get two of your own players to jump at each other. You used to just go at each other, have a wee bump.
Go near the ball and you fall down. That's it. And so and until they fix the rule, then stay at Parkhead, Ibrox, or them, because it's. What game was it? It was just a couple of weeks ago. One of the players at Kilmarnock when the they headed it away. And Chebraya had the ball, I think it was Chebraya, on the left-hand side, ready to swing it back in. But because the defender was lying on the ground,
Aye.
he stopped the play. Right, fine, so head knock, stop the play.
Goalie's ball.
But it's a goalie's ball. We've got in an attacking position, ready to swing it back in. And they get the ball back. So just fucking do that. 15 times, totally nullifies a corner. They put one in the corner.
Aye. It's do you know what? It's like one of these things you didn't like to see, but then you also didn't like to see a man getting sent off for fuck all. You didn't like to see fucking referees finding penalties on the penalties, and you didn't like.
It'd be interesting to see how the referee approached that, though, right? Because like the way it is, especially there, like their fans would go fucking mental at that, right? I totally understand why, because I would hate it as well. Imagine if you started picking the bookings out. Booking folk, because then you're going, you could just book somebody for the head knock. Where's the importance here of the fucking
where's the
concussion rules and that?
Because I mean, I suppose it would add time, but you didn't have to stay too long for the head knock. You can be up as soon as the play stops. You go, fucking get up and just get your head and be up and like, oh, I'm all right, ref.
Got that sponge.
I can play on, and I mean they would get frustrated with it and that, but and the thing is, if the referee did book somebody, what you do is you say, right, that person's got to come off, right? You take them off, you make a big play about how they're fucking ill through the weekend. You maybe have to sacrifice them for the next again weekend. That's a concussion. The referee not only didn't stop the fucking play, but he booked him for it. We've had to take him out because he's no fit to play, and then you just make it the referee's a proper bad
We've got here is you just get Malcolm McKay's listening to this, and we're going to have to face it.
I can. We're just going to get a cheats chatter. Aye. One day we'll be able to compete with them, and just go toe to toe and not have to think about all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, I'm all for us just spoiling the game and just
that's all we can do. I think
it difficult.
We should never stop cheating against them.
Hans said Josh Campbell was excellent, a very mature performance from the lad.
He was good. He's not a lad though, he's 24. Like, he should be playing like that now. Good for him.
Aye. Right, let's I think that's pretty much us for the talking points. We managed to rattle through them quite quickly, I think, because we talked about them on the match and kind of had carried out a lot of it. Tony Swanson says a lot of it, but it balances out over the season with the wee laughing emoji. Aye, so it does. And a few suggestions for folk to kind of get referees in from abroad. Looking ahead then, just to say, should we do it after? I suppose, and actually, ironically, the last time they had to do it was because Celtic had made such a fuss about the referees that they went on strike.
Well, they went on strike.
Aye.
Although that was funny that, because they went on strike and they boys came in and everybody remembers them fondly. Now I can't remember if they were that good or not, but there was nothing obvious that they'd done wrong by memory. But they never got called scabs or anything. Eh?
Nah, they didn't.
Don't remember them fondly. They were scabbing.
Aye, they were scabs, and we wanted to watch the football. But I suppose, is it because of what the industrial action was about? Like, the strike wasn't for better conditions. Well, if it's just because Celtic were mean to you, do you know what I mean? Like, is that a legitimate reason? The strike, if one of your customers or clients did they like you?
Was it that, or did they want your money?
It was nothing to do with the money. It was because Celtic. I think what had happened, right? And somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Do you mind? Celtic got a penalty, or didn't they get a penalty? I think it was at Tannadice, and
was it the Dougie McDonald stuff?
It came out the ref. Weren't told a lie. They basically said, "Oh, it all came out," and then they went fucking mental about it, and then there was a strike. I seem to, I might be muddling up, right? Because I'm bad for misremembering things, Colin, as we have talked about on here before. But I think that was the kind of the backdrop to it. Are you googling it now?
Aye, it was that. It was that reason. It didn't say Celtic. It says a dispute centred on perceptions the SFA was not doing enough to protect referees from undue criticism from football clubs, leading to increasing fears for personal safety. As controversial decisions were debated after referee Dougie McDonald was found to have lied to supervisor and Celtic manager Neil Lennon in 2010. Yeah, I remember that. Dougie McDonald took early retirement.
He did. He left it. That was pretty much the end of his referee career.
He wasn't a bad ref, but
No,
he lied in that one.
Can't lie. Like referees should have the integrity with and these things. What I never get with the referees, whether they just fucking say I didn't see something. Do you know, like? But if they've given a decision, they have to say what they've seen.
Aye,
so
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Aye, like McLean couldn't go and
But,
say.
but they're quite happy to lie. I mean, watch them. You watch the one on Sky Sports. You watch the one they do on the BBC, and the referee will just back up the referee no matter fucking what. He doesn't care. So he's lying there because he's. And I know they'll say he's no lying. They'll twist it and say that they're finding a rule that suits or their application of the rule.
Aye.
But I mean, then like there's been ones this season where they've sat there, Ricky Foster and another boy, and sat on that and went, that's definitely fucking the right decision. And then it gets fucking overturned the day after. And you're like, well, you've just fucking backed up that ref who VAR backed up at the time. And then some other can sat and watched it and went, nah, you're all fucking wrong.
Aye.
Like you fucking lied there just to protect your mate, the ref.
Yep. And I bet there is an element of that, like fearing for their safety. Well, we spoke about it, didn't we?
That's why they get decisions.
Yeah. Aye. Somebody said.
But anyway, the referees went on strike, and these boys were scabs, and we all look at them fondly. And we need to have a look at ourselves.
Aye.
If we're the working class heroes that we try to pretend we are.
Aye. Let's say.
The Celtic fans who like to give it the big one on, that's right, yeah.
Aye, definitely.
They're not happy with foreign mercy.
So Leon, this morning, Leon was trolling like mad on Twitter this morning. He's just chucking in about Celtic being a Tory club and everything.
Oh, was he?
What a boy.
Yeah.
What a boy. Right, we're almost out of time, right? But I wanted to, we'll get the Motherwell preview before we go. I've just remembered.
Oh, is that? I think you asked me to remember you, but
I tell you to remind me, so I'm just going to find it and try and get the song on because we've got a Hearts letter. We've not had a Hearts letter for fucking ages because we've been shite and they've been winning, and it's quite hard to come by when this happens. So let me try and find the problem has been about a fucking billion messages in that group since. So here we go. Right, hold on. Let's. Can you hear that music? Right. So this letter has been. Oh, hold on, didn't stop music. Been sent for Hearts fan. Obviously, Hearts are owners of their club now. By the way, I noticed some of them have that in their bio. They put part owner. Time, right, but carry on. Part owner.
Oh, fucking mess this is.
Oh, I know. Right. Feel sad again, people. Feel sad again. Right? I can't remember up to that. Like I'm a shareholder at Hibs. I could put that in my bio. Part owner of the club. So fucking what? Fuck off, your fans. Anyway, right. Dear Hearts, as a loyal fan, I write to express my disappointment and frustration with your embarrassing performance today. It's disheartening to see the team you love and support fall short of expectations, and we as fans have had enough. We urge you to look at yourselves and evaluate what needs to be done to turn this around. It's time to step up and take accountability for your actions, both on and off the field. As fans, we deserve to see the hard work and dedication that we know this team is capable of. We've invested our time, money, and passion into supporting you, but we can only do so much. It's time for a change, and we hope you take this message to heart. The third in the league, Colin.
Okay, well, I like we. It's all like as if it's like for one wee laddie, yeah, one wee laddie that's like pissed off because they're starting to look over their shoulder a wee bit and giving it the like talking on behalf of all of them because surely fuck they're no sitting like Matt writing a fucking letter like that. Like who are they writing it to? Dear Hearts, it starts.
Aye,
like,
Dear Hearts.
Who have they sent it to? Like to all the shareholders, to all the owners, like all fucking.
Finds a way doing the fucking post box. He's just writing his envelope. Hearts.
Just spent all his fucking.
We're big enough. The post office will ken for definite who this is meant for. Nobody's going to confuse this. Look at Hearts.
His mum and dad's like that. Who's used all this fucking toner on the printer?
Do you mind when they were wanting to protest against Romanoff and somebody suggested putting black paper in the fax machine and faxing it to what was it, Yukio Bankers to use up on their toner? That just fax black bits of paper.
Open letters, open letters, man. There's the way forward.
Aye. Anyway, Motherwell.
Get on a higher up lane and fucking hang out at the back of that, son.
Aye. Motherwell next year we've got an international break in between, have we? Or is Motherwell
Another
next
break, aye. So stop starting. That's first of April.
Aye. Fucking hell. So we beat Motherwell, aye or no?
I hope so. I think I don't see why not. Yeah, they're at home for that one, eh? Aye, and then
Aye,
the week
well.
Dundee United the week after. Yeah,
Aye.
so aye.
Aye, because I'm looking forward to Lee Johnson's get banned for that game as well for getting the booking at Parkhead for the ball.
Did he just take the booking? Did he kick it on, or did he take the big hit because he's the most senior on the?
Aye, for failing to control the bench because they couldn't pinpoint who'd done it. I think somebody suggested it was McCurdy.
But I think it was a plan. I think it was a Hibs plan to do shit like that, and so it's just somebody's done it, and somebody's had to take the blame for it. So for a booking for a manager, you miss the next match. Is that how it works?
I think he's maybe totted up.
Oh, right, he's done before.
Aye, maybe. Do you mind when McGregor got sent off for kicking McNulty at Ibrox, and we had a corner and somebody chucked the ball on, and Rangers got the ball. It was like fucking 2 balls in the pitch, stopped the play. Rangers got that back.
There was the playoff as well, and the second time we played them in the playoff 2 years in a row.
Aye.
And I can't remember. There was a game at Ibrox anyway, and it was a 2-legged thing, and they were wasting time all the time with doing shit like that, keeping the ball and chucking it back on at corners and stuff.
Aye.
I think it was the same game as what you're talking about, but I think it was they won 2-0 and then we only beat them 1-0 at Easter Road in the playoff.
Aye. Right, just to wrap up, because we're going to record extra time next, which is for our subscribers. You can subscribe by going to our Twitter, and we are coming up for our first anniversary on that one, Colin. I think on the 21st will be a year since we posted our first bit of content on Hubwave for subscribers.
Aye, it's a quick year, eh?
Aye, it has been a quick year, so we'll put a wee note out on Twitter to commemorate that. We might release something for the archive to give a sample for something like that. We could do something to celebrate it. But a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed over the course of the last year, whether you were somebody who came on right at the start or one of the ones that's kind of signed up in the last couple of weeks, in the last few days. Just know that we're very grateful for it. And if you want to subscribe, go to our Twitter, click on the wee link. It takes you a couple of minutes and you'll get set up in no time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
County line I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.